A very good evening to all of you. My name is Swapnil Patil. Like from the Catalyst Career Institution platform, we are going to start the current affairs test series. Today, this is a part 1 of our the program. This current affairs test series envisages the precursor or the pre-planning or the revision for our UPSC Prelims exam, which is going to happen on the last Sunday of the last week of the May month. So what we are going to offer, this current affairs test 1 is based on the 3 months which spans from May, June and July of the year 2024. So we have curated the 60 important questions which have the high bearing potential to come up into the actual UPSC Prelims examination. Before starting our first question, let's understand that the Catalyst Career Institution had launched the 6-dimensional UPSC Prelims test series. Now, this March month is devoted for the all Sundays devoted for the current affairs test series, then followed by the integrated test series, that is the full length test for the UPSC examination. So this full length test going to offer the comprehensive coverage of the all UPSC prelims syllabus. So the fee for this UPSC prelims the examination or the papers is kept at the 1999 rupees. So for more queries, the link and the mobile number is given below the this YouTube lecture. So you may contact with this number for the further inquiry. Then let's start for the today's question. The first question regarding, this is the first question, like regarding China's Change 6 mission. This mission is about, please read the question. What is about the Change 6 mission? See, regarding, I will give you the backdrop of this Change 6 mission. The recent, like various countries had launched the lunar missions. The first mission launch is the 1959 successful mission on the moon by the Russia is known as the Luna mission. Then the USA had launched the Apollo mission in 1966. I am talking about the successful mission. The first manned mission launched by the USA is the Apollo 11 by the USA. Then the India launched the lunar mission under the Chandrayaan mission. Then the Japan had launched the Sling mission, and the China launched in 2013 under the name Change 3. Now we are talking about the Change 6 mission. So what this mission talks about, what is the unique feature of this Change 6 mission? We know the Chandrayaan 3 mission. Chandrayaan 3 mission, what is the Chandrayaan 3 mission? See, this Chandrayaan 3 mission, let's brief about the Chandrayaan 3 mission. Chandrayaan 3 mission launched on the 23rd August 2023 at the south pole of the moon, that is at the Shiva Shakti point. We have given the name Shiva Shakti point. And the lander and rover, lander is a Vikram and the rover is the name Pragyan. So 23rd August is now known as the National Space Day, and India became the first country in the world. India became the first country in the world to land or to soft land at the south pole of the moon. Yes, that is the unique characteristic of the Chandrayaan 3. Now we are talking about the China's Change 6 mission. The first statement, read the first statement. It is the first mission in history to bring back samples from the far side of the moon. With respect to Chandrayaan 3, we can also say that the India became the first country to soft land on the far side of the moon or the south pole of the moon. But the chain 6 is talking about to bring back samples from the far side of the moon. So this is a true. Then Chan 6 lander is designed to study the moon's south pole, that is Atkin Basin. This is also true. Atkin Basin, the south pole, again Chan 6. With respect to Chandrayaan 3, the south pole, what is the name? The Shiva Shakti point, which is given by the India. Shiva Shakti means the amalgamation of the male energy and female energy, masculine and feminine aspect. Yes, Shakti with respect to the goddess. Shiva is a masculine aspect. So, with respect to Chandrayaan 3, the lander soft landing is at the Shiva Shakti point, and with respect to Chain 6, that is the China's lunar mission at the Atkin Basin. Then the mission involves the collaboration with the international partners, including from the France and Pakistan. So the China had collaborated with the different countries like France, Pakistan and other countries to have the expertise or to like carry the payloads from these countries. So this statement is also true. Then the Chain 6 follows the Chain 5 mission, and this Chain 6 brought the first lunar samples from the far side of the moon. This is also true. So that's why the all statements are true. When you see the options, the correct option is the 1, 2, 3 and 4, that is the D. Yes, why we have included this question in the current affairs, that the India Chandrayaan 3 mission is a very important. We suppose answer for the question number 1 is the D, that is the all 1, 2, 3, 4 statements are correct. Regarding the Chandrayaan 3 mission like have the propulsion module, then the lander module and the rover module. The Chandrayaan 3 had soft landed on the Shiv Shakti point on August 23 in the year 2023. August 23 is known as the National Sample Day, and in the year 2024 on 23rd August we have celebrated our first ever National Space Day. So that's why the missions related to the moon by different countries are very important. If you see the upcoming mission, have you heard about the upcoming mission between the India and Japan? India and Japan are collaborating for the lunar exploration. What is the name? Like online students? Yes. What is the name? What is the name for the joint mission which is going to launch by the India and Japan? Yes. The name is the LUPEX mission. This is a lunar mission by the India and Japan. The name is the LUPEX mission. So, and what is the importance? Again, with respect, we are talking about the comprehensive information related to the moon or the lunar missions. If you see, the value added data is that the do you know the Artemis mission? Yes. What is the purpose of Artemis mission, or which space agency has launched this mission? Yes, anybody? Yes, Artemis mission is launched by the NASA, and this is going to be the future landmark event to have the crewed mission to the moon. And what is the crew? what is this characteristic or the features of the crew? Like among the crew, the first woman is going to like land on the moon. Her name is, what is her name? Christina Koch. First color of its client or first black person is going to have foot on the moon. His name is Victor Glover. That's why the Artemis mission is important. We all know the SpaceX, Elon Musk is going to have the ambition of the colonization on the Mars. Like if we see, like to going to the Mars from the Earth, there will be the halt at the moon. So it will be the mission on the Mars via the moon. So NASA or under the Artemis program, NASA is going to build the lunar gateway station like halt station, and lunar gateway station will be powered by the nuclear energy. See, we are using the solar energy or the solar powered or the hybrid energy system for the satellite launching or any kind of the propulsion system. But on the moon we are going to use the nuclear energy to build the lunar gateway station, and this lunar gateway station will act as a halt point to reach to the Mars. That's why the upcoming lunar missions are very, very important. That's why we have included this question. Coming to the question second. Please read this question. This is a very interesting concept on the economy. Like, what is about the shrinkflation and the skimflation? Just read the statements, then you will get the little bit idea what this question wants to convey and why is it in the news. Yes, first we will understand the concept what the shrinkflation and the skimflation is talking about. Let's see the diagram, then you will going to understand. See, this news came into the Hindu that regarding the due to the rise in the cocoa prices, there is a like the high inflation or the tactics of the shrinkflation and the skimflation. See this diagram. Like suppose this is a product, original product, which is having the price of $5 or consider as the rupees 10 in Indian currency. This bread, like due to the rising input cost or the raw material, the company had decided to reduce its size while keeping the prices same. Have you heard about the biscuit company or the any kind of the bread company or any kind of the chocolate company? Like what they are doing, suppose if you are like the purchasing any kind of the chocolate product, any kind of the biscuit product, then what you are observing, you like that product very, very much. What they are doing, like due to the inflation or any kind of system, the company is going to reduce its size while the keeping the prices is same. That is shrinking its size or the reducing its size. This is called as the shrinkflation. And what is the skimflation? Like suppose this is like the cocoa beans, this is a chocolate. The same chocolate is there, same size is there. Then what is the scheme? What they have done? Instead of going to use the quality product, they are using the inferior product or the substandard product. Like consider an example, you are going to any restaurant or any hotel, like they are doing the particular dish is very tasty or very popular among the consumers. So what they are doing, they are keeping the constant quantity same, but they are using the substandard quality of the raw material or the any kind of the commodity, input commodity. This is called as the skimflation. And if you see the concept, both are types of inflation. Inflation means like unusual increase in the general price level. Then these types, like we are using the core inflation, the galloping inflation, the crippling inflation. These are the types of inflation. Then deflation. So along with these types, this shrinkflation and the skimflation is the types of the inflation. That's why we have taken the question. Now read the statements. Now read this type. The name itself suggests, please pay attention, the shrinkflation. Shrinkflation means reducing its size while keeping the MRP or the price constant. See, shrinking, reducing the size or quantity of product while keeping the price the same. This one is the correct one. Skimflation, reducing the quality of product or the service rather than its size or quantity. Means keeping the size same, at the same time they are reducing the quality of product or the service. Then this is also the true one. Then both lead to the inflation. Yes, this one is also true, because this talks about the types of inflation. Inflation means the unusual increase in the general price level. Then the shrinkflation is directly measured in the consumer price index, whereas the skimflation is not. See, if you see, the skimflation is talking about the quality of product or service which is quite of intangible or the invisible. That's why it is not generally counted in the CPI. But in the shrinkflation, with respect to the quantity, here it is a reduction in quantity. That's why it is affecting the consumer price index or any kind of the quantity level. That's why it is counted into the consumer price index. That's why the statement 4 is also correct. So the ultimate answer is the D, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Coming to the next question. This is a question from the geography. You might have heard about the geysers, hot springs like Manikaran Valley, Puga Valley. In Maharashtra, you can say the certain regions where there is a belief that if you bath into that lake or pond, there is a cure for the skin related diseases. Now in geography terms, we are seeing that the springs, hot springs are the flooded with or the comprises the sulfur deposits. That sulfur deposits are responsible for the skin related diseases. Now talk about the geysers. What is the difference between the geyser and hot springs? Like geyser are the intermittent flowing, the explosion of the hot water at the certain height level. So if you see regarding the Iceland frequent volcanic eruptions, like we are talking about the volcanic eruptions. Along with volcanic eruptions, the Iceland is also famous for the hot geysers, hot springs and the geysers. We have taken the name of the geyser from the location situated at the Iceland. The geyser name is derived from the location from the Iceland. So the question is, why the Iceland is frequently witnessing the volcanic eruption? Then these are the options. It is located on the tectonic plate boundary where plates are moving apart. Then it mantle have the additional magma and it has thin lithosphere, and volcanic activity is primarily caused by the melting of glacier due to the climate change. For the time being, we are assuming that okay, 1, 2, 3, we have not idea regarding the volcanic eruption, but if you see the what we are asked, the what are the primary reasons for the frequent the volcanic eruptions, the one is the melting of glacier due to the climate change. Does the melting of glacier is directly contributing for the frequent volcanic eruption? This is a clear-cut answer that this is an incorrect one. So eliminate the option 4. By analyzing the option A and B, we have the 1 and 2, 1, 2, and now we have to decide regarding the statement 1. Yes, the statement 3. The first two are correct by going the option elimination technique. It is located on the tectonic plate boundary where the plates are moving apart. Yes, if you see the map, in the Atlantic Ocean, there is a mid-Atlantic ridge, and these are the divergent boundary. Like the tectonic plates are moving away from each other. And on the mid-Atlantic ridge, the Iceland country is located. Then a mantle plume supplies additional magma. Yes, that is correct. And it has a thin lithosphere. Lithosphere is a varying, or the continental crust is having the varying depth from the latitude. And on the Iceland, there is a thin atmosphere. That's why, see, this is a thin atmosphere. That's why the beneath magma can overcome this thin lithosphere very rapidly. So that's why the Iceland is witnessing the frequent volcanic eruptions. Online students, like you may ask doubts if you are occurred in between. Online students are requested, if you have any kind of the query, concern or the doubts, you can write into the chat box. Then if you see, we will see the map. Yes. The one article was surfaced on the Indian Express newspaper that the volcano in Ireland erupts, and why is country so volcanically active? Like recently, 10-15 days ago, the Delhi had witnessed the severe earthquake of the 4.5 Richter scale. And see, what was the peculiarity of that Delhi's earthquake? Earlier, the epicenter or the focus used to have in the Himalaya, and the tremors used to witnessed into the Delhi. But for this event, this Delhi had itself the epicenter for the earthquake activity. Now, this Indian Express had given the news why the Iceland is volcanically active. See the map. If you see the region, greater than around 50% or half of the portion is flooded with the magma or the active volcanic activity. And if you see, we have seen the reason, that is due to the thin lithosphere, or there is a magma accumulated under this thin lithosphere. Then if you see, this is Atlantic Ocean, and this Atlantic Ocean has the tectonic plate boundary, which is having the boundary interaction of the divergent in nature. Due to this divergent in nature, there is the mid-Atlantic region or the ridges coming up, and the magma beneath this thin lithosphere is coming upward. That's why the Iceland is witnessing the major volcanic eruptions in its region. Then see this news. This is like the bank clinic. Blank clinic, like we have the perception like general clinic. We are going to solve our the human related diseases into the general clinic or the human clinic. So this is the concept of the bank clinic. Bank clinic. What is the concept of the bank clinic? Let's see the question regarding the bank clinic. The question is that which of the following statements regarding the blank clinic initiative is or are correct? The first statement, it is a government backed initiative launched by the RBI. This is an initiative launched by the RBI. Then customers can register complaints and receive responses within 5 working days. Then the initiative aims to assist customers in understanding RBI banking guidelines. It focuses on resolving corporate loan defaults and large-scale banking frauds. Let's understand the concept very clearly, because these concepts are having the different agencies involved and their different mandates and functions. If we see the bank clinic, the first statement they are talking about, it is launched by the RBI or not. So this is a factual data. This is launched by the All India Banking Employee Association, IBA, not by the RBI. Yes, it is true that customer can file the complaint, register the complaints and receive responses within the 5 working days. Yes, that is true. This is also the factual part. Within 5 working days. See, like if you see, there is the concept of within week. And in the week, generally, there is a Saturday, Sunday or holiday. So within a week, so if you exclude the Saturday, Sunday, out of the 7 days, then within 5 working days. Yes, for the general purpose. Then the initiative aims to assist customer in understanding the RBI banking guidelines. Now there is if you call to someone or something, regarding the caller tune is regarding to create the awareness regarding the emergent banking frauds or the cyber crimes. So that's why the bank clinic concept are very important. Then the first statement is a wrong. It is launched by the IBA. Then second is a correct one. Yes, within 5 working days you can register the complaint and receive the responses. Then the initiative aims to assist customer understanding the RBI. Yes, true. It focuses on resolving corporate loan defaults and large scale banking frauds. Is it true? For the large scale banking frauds, you need to require the specialty institution or the super special institutions to understand the complexity of that financial fraud. Regarding resolving corporate loan defaults, there is a separate entities like asset reconstruction companies. So different agencies is having the different mandate regarding the corporate loan defaults. The bank clinic is talking about the resolving or the grievance redressal system in your financial mechanism or the economical capital framework. So if you see regarding this, we have the ombudsman system. Have you heard about the ombudsman system? Like regarding if particular bank, any kind of the scheduled commercial bank, private bank is not addressing the customer's complaints within the time frame, then he or she can appeal to the ombudsman system of the Reserve Bank of India. So this is a kind of the similar initiative of the bank clinic. So the correct option only 2, that is the B. 1 is the incorrect, second, third is the correct one, and fourth one is the again incorrect. Then coming to the next question, that is the Trishna mission. Trishna mission is a very important. India and France are collaborating on the various platforms. If you see, the recently Prime Minister Narendra Modi had visited the France country, and he had opened the consulate in the France. Then in the Paris, the third AI related summit had happened, artificial intelligence related summit, and it is a very important summit. Then India along with France had launched the International Solar Alliance. Yes, in the year 2015. That's why India and France collaboration is very important. This is the Trishna mission. Trishna mission is regarding the thermal infrared, studying on harnessing of the natural resources assessment. Thermal infrared, if you see, like Trishna is focused on thermal infrared imaging of studying Earth's land and water resources or the natural assessment system. If you see, this is a mission between the India and France, that is a true. Trishna mission stands for the thermal infrared assessment or the studying or harnessing natural resources and its assessment. This is a long form of the Trishna mission. India and France means Indian Space Agency ISRO and the France Space Agency known as the CNES. This is a collaborative, and we all know regarding this is a electromagnetic spectrum. In the electromagnetic spectrum there is a one wave, that is the infrared component. Infrared component is also known as the thermal component. Like if you see, like there is a one movie, Hollywood movie 0 Dark 30, directed by the Catherine Bigelow. There was a one operation, the combing operation launched by the USA to capture the Osama bin Laden. If you have seen this movie, that operation was launched during the night time, and they have used the night vision goggles. In the night vision goggle is having the infrared component, because in the night the human bodies are invisible. We cannot differentiate during the darkness. So that's why the heat emitted by the opponent or the human body is sensed by this lens or the goggles due to this infrared or due to this thermal or the heat emitted by the person. Then again the concept regarding the infrared, that the incoming solar radiation from the sun predominantly emit or the radiates in the form of the ultraviolet rays. These ultraviolet rays are absorbed by the earth and emitted in the form of infrared, and this is the infrared component. UV rays is having the short wavelength, whereas the infrared is having the long wavelength. This infrared, like see, this is a land and this is a water body, and this land and water body are emitting infrared, and these are captured by the Trishna mission or any kind of the satellite. This is the crux of this Trishna mission. Now let's understand. The mission aims to monitor urban heat island, agricultural stress or the water resources management. Yes, that is true. Urban heat island, we have this Trishna mission is launched to sense the heat component released in the form of the infrared. So the third statement is the correct one. Agricultural stress means, suppose in the dryland farming or the drought prone area, the particular agriculture crop is not deficient in the water, then by the sensing the greenery of this agriculture field, we can witness the health of the particular agricultural field. Same goes with the stress water bodies also. Because see, the India under the Ministry of Jal Shakti had launched the first ever water body census. That's why this is a very important concept. So third one is also true. It will support the India's national hydrogen mission, mapping the hydrogen reserves. It is not talking about the hydrogen. It is talking about the natural assessment, particularly the land or the water related components. So the correct answer will be the only three, that is the C. See, this kind of the options, only 1, only 2, only 3 and all 4 have been started in the year 2023 by the UPSC. the options or the statements are the easier one, but due to this framing of the this options, the question reflects or the tilting towards a slightly difficult mode. That's why the commission is expecting the accurate, the studying of the accurate and the precise data. That's the commission is expecting. Talking about the infrared concept or the thermal related aspect, do you know the NDVI concept? This is a very important, the NDVI concept. NDVI concept is related or the assessing the agricultural stress. This acronym stands for the natural difference in the vegetation index. Suppose if the particular agriculture field is before monsoon and after monsoon. After monsoon, due to the some rainfall activity, this is a greenery, and before the monsoon in the drought prone area, there is like a yellow color of the agricultural field or the dried agriculture crops. This difference is measured by the satellite in the form of and quantified in the form of NDVI. And this NDVI shows the health condition of the agriculture field. So we can relate this Trishna mission, infrared component, thermal component to the NDVI index. Coming to the next question, biopharmaceutical alliance. Like we have witnessed the one of the unfortunate and the rarest of rare instances of the COVID-19 diseases. Like COVID-19 diseases, like the once in a century event. What at that during time, what was happened? Like during the international chains or the international transportation were halted, the trade were the stopped, and that's why like due to the disruption in the global supply chain, the India was unable, because India is relating heavily dependent on the China for the procurement of the active pharmaceutical ingredients, API. Because these API, 80%, around 80% we are dependent on the API from the China, and the global supply chains were disrupted. That's why this API is key ingredient for the making the medicines. That's why we were vulnerable during that time. Now the fate was witnessed by the other countries also, be it United States of America, European country, or the Southeast Asian country. So that's why the biopharmaceutical alliance, this idea was first between the South Korea and USA. This is a true one. The alliance primarily focus on the production of generic medicine. This generic medicine is primarily concerned with the Indian related aspects. Yes, but it is focusing on the supply chain, making of the vaccines, like COVID-19 related the aspect. The pharmaceutical supply chains, the vaccines or the biological therapies or the advanced therapies. So this one is the incorrect and this one is the true. So the option is the 1 and 3. So the 1 and 3, the correct answer is the B. Have you understood the biopharmaceutical alliance? Now coming to the next question regarding the ONDC. Open network for the digital commerce. Understand, this is a very good concept. The UPSC still had not asked the question on the ONDC in the prelims and the upcoming mains. So this is like the concept which is having the high bearing potential to come up into the exam. If you see the ONDC, Open Network for the Digital Commerce, let's understand, let's read this statement, because I am not expecting to have the correct information regarding the ONDC, because this is an emerging concept. But if you understand the concept, then you will be able to solve these questions very accurately. Just we have to understand the concept. See the question, read the options carefully. I will summarize this option for you, then let's understand the concept. The first statement is talking about designed to break the dominance of large e-commerce platform. Large e-commerce platform, understand the concept regarding large e-commerce platform, we all know we have the Big Basket, Zomato, then Swiggy, then Amazon, Flipkart. Then it mandates all e-commerce platform operating India to integrate with its open network. It can lead to the democratization of e-commerce by allowing participate without dedicated. Yes, the networks allow to compare prices across different sellers. Let's understand the concept. For the time being, or for the conceptual clarity, we are just giving the examples. Our purpose is to have the clarity over the conceptual understanding, not to defend any particular brand or the platform. This is a just disclaimer. Like this is a ONDC, Open Network Digital Commerce. Open Network Digital Commerce. For example, this is a like sellers and these are the consumers. Like for example, these are consumers like want to order the food from the Swiggy or the Zomato. Yes. Again, the consumers want to buy particular products or the items from the Amazon or the Flipkart. Then these consumers want to buy any commodity of fruits or vegetable from the Big Basket or the grocers. Same, the sellers will put their product, or the restaurant in the case of Swiggy Zomato will put into this Swiggy and Zomato. With respect to this, sellers will put their products, be it books, any kind of the shoes or any kind of clothes on the Amazon or Flipkart. Then Big Basket, the sellers or the fruit or vegetable sellers will put on their platform. So we now, like there are the lacunas that some consumers may feel that okay, the particular platform is charging the very high fee, the platform fee or any kind of the fee. Then what they are doing, instead of using the multiple platforms, they will be having the all platforms will be over here, that is the open network digital commerce. Like these are the e-commerce, the same mandate of the e-commerce in this field will be alone done by the ONDC, and this is a Government of India initiative. So all the sellers will put, all the different sellers will put the selling aspect into this ONDC, and consumer will directly go to the ONDC platform. This is a kind of the democratization of the e-commerce. E-commerce is the emerging field. If you see, like on the Amazon Flipkart, the consumers are comparing the prices. Whatever they are doing, all the e-commerce platform, the same will be done into this ONDC. ONDC will ensure the comprehensive listing of the e-commerce products. Obviously, we are comparing, suppose any person wants to buy any particular product, then they are comparing on the different e-commerce platform, whether it is a cheaper on the Amazon or Flipkart, whether which kind of the platform is giving the discount. Same goes with the Swiggy or Zomato also. So we are giving the platform where the consumer can compare the relative prices also. So this is a ONDC platform, and same, like there are suppose small sellers, like there is a big giant and they are placing on the particular e-commerce. Now the small sellers will also get the platform where there will be the small sellers will enable to sell their products to the open market, and whereas we are expecting the level playing field for all players. This is the concept of the open network digital commerce. Let's understand now the question. Now read the question. I hope you are getting the answer correct. ONDC designed to break the dominance of the large e-commerce platform and interoperability between buyers and sellers. Yes, interoperability, that is the true one. Then it mandates all e-commerce platforms. This provision is the mandatory? No, it is a voluntary. It depends upon the will of the buyer or the seller to place the product or to buy the product on the ONDC. So this one is the incorrect, first one is the correct. It can lead to the democratization of e-commerce. Yes, that is the true one. And the fourth one, the network allow consumer to compare prices across the different sellers. We have seen whatever the current e-commerce platforms like the consumer is doing, the same will be analyzed onto this ONDC, that is the Open Network Digital Commerce. So fourth statement will also be the correct one. Ultimately, the out of 4, the 3 statements are correct. So the only 3 is the correct answer. Consider the following statement regarding the Piston curves. We have the different types of curve, like we know the Laffer curve. Yes, what the Laffer curve is talking about? It is a relation between the tax rates and tax revenue. Yes, what this curve talks about? This one. These are the tax rates and this is the revenue. What this Laffer curve talks about? If you reduce, this is a tax rates. If you reduce the tax rates up to the certain point, there is a maximization of the tax revenue. This Laffer curve is talking about relation between the tax rates and tax revenue. Similar, we are the Laffer. Yes, we have the Phillips curve. We have the Kuznets curve. We have the Lorentz curve for the Gini coefficient. In the similar manner, there is a Piston curve. Now you have the homework, or you should have the data, comparative data among the different types of curve. Now this Piston curve is a very important. Piston curve, what this curve talks about? First we will read the statement. It depicts the relation between the GDP per capita and the life expectancy. Then it talks about if you suggest the lower incomes, that even small increase in GDP, then there will be significant increase in the life expectancy. And it is a straight line function or the straight curve. Now they are saying that the Piston curve is like this. Like if we assume the first statement is the correct, then they are saying that with the increase in the GDP per capita, there will be the proportional increase in the life expectancy. And the second statement is saying that this is not proportional. If we increase the small GDP per capita, then there will be the significant. So what is the straight curve talk about? If we increase the 2 units, then there will be also increase in the 2 units. 4 units, 4 units. That is the proportional increase. But they are saying the statement second is contradictory to the third one. Let's see what the Piston curves look like. See, this is a Piston curve. This is obviously not the straight curve. What we can say, the Piston curve is the non-linear plus upward sloping, and at some point of time this will be the straight curve. What is the meaning of this? Just understand, on the x-axis there is a GDP per capita, on y-axis there is a life expectancy. Online students, yes, if you have any doubt, then you can write in the chat box. Offline students, you may ask directly. Understand, if you see GDP per capita, like for the, this is not technical aspect or the economical aspect, in general aspect we can say GDP per capita, like consider as for the time being income. For the time being, let's consider as the income, and this is a life expectancy. If you increase the income very slightly, then there is an increased life expectancy. See, like this is a zero income, then up to 10,000 per month. Let's assume for the 10,000 per month, if you increase this amount, then is a significant increase in the life expectancy. Why? You have the enough income. Yes, now Omkar, the issue is resolved. The background sound is muted. Yes, if you see the income, like within a small increase in the income or the GDP per capita, there is a significant increment in the life expectancy. Why? Suppose if you don't have the money in your pocket and you are getting the income 20,000, 25,000, then you can enroll for the good food. You may go to the good restaurant. You may opt for the nutritious diet, like for example almonds, dry fruits, eggs. You have the better clinical facility or the health facility, education facility. If you want to have the more related aspect, then you can increase your life expectancy. In the example of the suppose malnutrition, where the like having the less significant out of pocket expenditure, then there is a less the availability or the facility for the health. He might neglect his health related aspects also. Yes, and if you see, like as the income increases, there is a now the steady increase, and within a beyond, suppose you are like having the lakhs or crores per month, but there is a not increase during the long term. There will be not, if you are additional income or additional GDP per capita, then there will be not any significant changes in the life expectancy. This is the analysis of the curve, that is the Preston curve. So now let's understand the question. Now read this question carefully. What this first statement is saying, it depicts the relationship between the country GDP per capita and the life expectancy. This is a true. Then the curve suggests that lower level incomes, even small increase, will have the significant increment. That's we have seen in the curve. This one, the GDP per capita and the life expectancy. Then the curve is a straight line. No, this is not a linear or the straight line. This is a non-linear upward sloping curve and not a constant relation between it. So the third one will be the wrong one. The correct option is the 1 and 2 only. The correct option is the A. Then reading about the kafala system. Kafala or the kafala system. Have you heard about the kafala system? You might have heard that the many of the workers from India is going to the Gulf countries. Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran. And we are constantly seeing the problem of the exploitation of our the Indian laborers which are working abroad. So this is regarding the kafala system. Like you might have heard the news that the Indian passports are the captured or the forfeited by the Gulf countries authority, and they were like the facing the humiliation, insulting or the exploitation or kind of the forced labor system. So in informal terms, this is regarding the kafala system, and the kafala system, because the countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE are undergoing into the reform with respect to the kafala system or the kafala system. The kafala system is the labor response sponsorship program mainly prevalent in the Gulf Cooperation Council country. This one is the true. Then under this system of migrant workers visa and employment status tied to their employer, restricting job mobility. Yes, under this the visa and the passports are with the employer. That's why while changing the job or leaving the country, the employee has to take the permission from the employer. That's why this system is a very stringent system or the exploitative system. This one is also true. The several countries, Qatar and Saudi, entirely abolished. This one is the incorrect. Not entirely abolished. These countries have, up to the certain extent, have introduced the reforms, not entirely established. Then the kafala system has been criticized by the international organization for enabling the forced labor and exploitation. Yes, the various United Nations systems, International Labour Organization, United Nations for the Human Rights Commission had criticized this kind of the system because of the gross violation of the human rights. This is a general statement and this is a true. So out of 4, 3 are correct. The correct option will be the only 3. Just understand the term. The UPSC might ask the question, the kafala system which is recently in the news is related to. Then they are giving one-liner question, they are giving the option A, B, C and D. Then next question. See, the last year we have witnessed the landmark changes in our criminal justice system. What is the criminal justice system? Like earlier there was the Indian Penal Code of 1860, then Criminal Procedure Code and then Indian Evidence Act. This is replaced by the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. CRPC is replaced by Bharatiya Nagari Suraksha Sanhita, and Indian Evidence Act is replaced by the Bharatiya Saksha Sanhita. So that's why this is a very important. So what are the important aspects? The Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, it replaced the IPC. This one is the true one. It introduces community service as a form of punishment for petty offences. Like suppose community services like for the petty offences, not for the gross violation, because see, in the last year the one Porsche, the underage driver had killed the the youth from the Madhya Pradesh, and the Juvenile Justice Board had prescribed the community services, like for the 15 days you may stand at the traffic and guide to the public. Yes, remember for the petty offences, because Indian Penal Act, which is incepted during the British period, which is having the word penal. Penal means giving the punishment, but now this is a word nyaya. Instead of giving punishment, the government is envisaging giving to the nyaya to the victims. That's why the key phrases are also important. In the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, the one of the major change or the paradigm change is the community service for the petty offences. Then the third one, it removes the sedition as an offence from the criminal code. If you see the sedition like the Deshdroha, British had during the British this sedition concept had been evolved or the originated, where like if you acting against the British Empire, then the sedition will be the like having in the oppression, like Lokmanya Tilak also underwent under the prison under the sedition charges. Now this Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita had not removed, but it came up with a reform aspect. Like while there will be the stringent punishment if you are doing any like threatening the unity, integrity and sovereignty of India, then you will be slapped with a higher punishment. So this is kind of, there is a no word for this sedition, but the offenses are there for like persons acting against the interest or against the unity, integrity and sovereignty of India. So this one is the incorrect, 1, 2 are correct. The correct option will be the 1 and 2 only. Now see the question regarding the nota. None of the above. Recently, the Maharashtra government had witnessed the state legislative assembly elections. 2024 April, like March to April, May, June, we have witnessed the Lok Sabha general election. Then just understand why we have taken this news. This is a very interesting concept. If you see this news, see this news. The BJP's, this candidate has won in Indore with a massive, yes, that is true. But the second one was the nota with gaining the 2 lakh votes. This is a news. Then 2 plus lakh votes. Imagine the condition where the voters feel that among the candidate list is no one is deserving to win, and imagine this like scenario that the voters decided to give the vote to the nota, and the nota is having the first place and the second candidate wins. Imagine the scenario. Now we have framed the question on the nota, none of the above option. I am assuming that you have voted in your elections. Like, now the question for you, which constitutional amendment had lowered the age from the 21 years to the 18 years for the Lok Sabha election and the state legislation? This is a homework for you. Now read the question. The Supreme Court had mandated the nota in the People Union for Civil Liberties versus Union of India in 2013. This is a true. If nota receives more votes than any candidate, a re-election is conducted automatically. Is this correct? Suppose, like, consider the hypothetical scenario that at the first place the nota gets the higher vote than the second winning candidate. Now the statement is saying, if the first place is occupied by the none of the above or the nota votes, then election will be, there will be the re-election. Is this true or false? No, the re-election will not happen. The second candidate will be declared in the winner of that particular constituency. So this one is the incorrect one. Nota ensures that political party cannot manipulate. That's why the Supreme Court had directed to the Election Commission of India to include the nota options, because the voter have the options or they reject all the candidates. So this will be the true. The Election Commission of India has the authority to disqualify candidates constituency where the nota secures the highest vote. No, there is a no provision of the disqualify candidates. The second candidate in the list will be declared. So the second and fourth will be the incorrect. First and third will be the correct one. So the only 2 option will be the correct one. That is the answer B. Coming to the next question, that is the regarding internationalization of the rupee. Internationalization of Indian rupee. This is a very important. Again, we have seen the concept like ONDC, Open Network Digital Commerce. Again, in the economy, this concept is very important. That is the internationalization of rupee. Why? Like, have you read the foreign trade policy? Foreign trade policy was unveiled on the 1st April 2023 till indefinite period. And if you see that 1st April 2023, there is a one important word, that is the main objective of the internationalization of rupee. The most of the trade happens in the dollar. Now we want to intrude the rupee currency in the international market, international trade market. This is one of the objective, one of the significant important objective into the foreign trade policy. If you see, there is a various instances where this is a manifestation of internationalization of rupee. For example, during the Ukraine-Russia war, despite having the sanctions on India, or despite having the threatening of the sanctions from the USA on India, India purchased the deep discounted crude oil from Russia, and that too in the rupee. That's why the specially Vostro and Nostro accounts were opened to have the transaction between the Russian ruble and the Indian rupees, bypassing the dollar. Then if you see the news, there are important news and repetitive news that India had started the trade in rupees with the neighboring country, be it Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan. With respect to the Malaysia, with respect to Singapore, India is having the UPI payment system in France. In 2023, the India hosted the G20 summit in year 2023. If you see, the most developed countries leader are doing the rupee transaction or the money transaction in the UPI, scanning the QR code. This is a major steps towards the internationalization of the rupee. If you see, India signed an agreement with the UAE, known as the LCSS, Local Currency Settlement System, where there will be the trade between the Indian rupees and UAE dirham under the local currency system, settlement system. This is also manifestation of the internationalization of rupee. Then now coming to the statement, it refers to the increasing use of Indian rupee. Yes, increasing, this is a true. Then the Reserve Bank of India allowed trade settlement in rupees through the Vostro account. Yes, Vostro and Nostro account with the Russia. Then internationalization of rupee is entirely market driven, does not involve any government intervention. This is the incorrect. This is an extreme statement. And not entirely market driven, but primarily driven by the government policies. Because see, we have the managed floating kind of system. Managed floating means in the emergency or the crisis like situation, the condition for the exchange rate is managed by the RBI. Otherwise, it is having the market driven system. So India follows the, what you can say, the managed floating system. So with respect to the internationalization of rupee, there would not be the entirely market driven aspect. So the third one is the wrong. First and second are true. The correct option is the 1 and 2 only. The correct option is the A. Regarding the next question in the economics, the project nexus. What this project nexus is talking about? Like see, the project nexus is talking about, let's understand this statement. Project nexus is initiative by the Bank for International Settlement, BIS. BIS is known as the bankers bank. Like RBI's regulatory bank or having the banker is the Bank for International Settlement. It is situated at the Basel, Switzerland. Correct domestic instant payment system across the country. Yes, this is a true. Then the project aims to create unified digital currency. Is it a possible? For example, India and Switzerland will have the common currency. India, Russia, India, France will have the common currency. No. Just to have the payment, instant payment system. Yes, I want to transfer the money from Indian to the ruble, Indian to the dinar, Indian to, rupees to the dollar, rupees to the pound, rupees to the renminbi. Then there will be the project nexus for the cross border. So this statement is the incorrect one. It facilitates real-time international payments, fast payment system, FPS. Fast payment system. Like earlier what we used to do, okay, the Indian bank or Indian financial system transferring the money 2 to 3 days are required for the clearances or any kind of the aspect. Now there will be under the project nexus, there will be the faster payment transfer, and India had joined the project nexus. That's why it is very important. If you see the faster payment system, suppose India and Thailand, now we want to send the money under the faster payment system. India has the UPI. Can we scan the Thailand's market's QR code to transfer the payment? No. We should have that mechanism or intermediate to transfer the payment from the India to Thailand or for the cross border mechanism. So Thailand is having the prompt payment initiative like the UPI. So there will be the intermediary under the project nexus where there will be the smooth transfer of the finance from the India to the Thailand. So this one is correct, this one is the correct, only 3. Option C is the correct one. See the image. This is a news, very important. RBI joins the project Nexus to enable instant cross-border retail payments. This is an important news. We should know what do you mean by the internationalization of rupee, what do you mean by ONDC, what do you mean by the project Nexus. Then see the question is asked in the one of the UPSC exam. It might be the CDS or the CAPF. Read this question. It is asked in the UPSC. Is it visible? Yes. Read the statements. The first statement is saying that the project Nexus is conceptualized by the World Bank. This one is the incorrect one. This is conceptualized by the Bank for International Settlement. The question might be asked, the conceptualized by the IMF, Asian Development Bank, BRICS Bank, New Development Bank. The project Nexus is conceptualized by the BIS. Reserve Bank of India has joined. This one is the true one. They have asked the simpler one. Now in the UPSC they might be asking on the at the depth level. Now see, this one is the BIS, Bank for International Settlement Project Nexus, and the then RBI Governor Shaktikant Das. Now see this news. Like the cholesterol is injected into the cattle for the higher yield. In the same manner, that's why it was banned in the year 2019. In the fish, there was a 2 chemicals. The chemicals was the chloramphenicol and the nitrofurans. These chemicals, like after the consumption of the fish, this is like the having the symptoms: weakness, drowsiness, temporary hair loss, the itching, nausea, vomiting. That's why these chemicals are important. Why we have included this question? Obviously it is in the current affairs, and the second aspect is UPSC in the prelims 2021 had asked the question regarding the triclosans. Recently in the news that we can find option A, B, C, D, toiletries, cosmetics, foods, and the options, other options are given, the toxic substances or any kind of the commodities. So if you see, this is also the in the current affairs. That's why we are seeing this chemical related question. Let's see the question on the chloramphenicol and nitrofurans. Now we came to the conclusion that these are the toxic chemicals where after the consumption of the mainly fish, the human beings are witnessing the adverse health related aspect. Now the first, these chemicals are the antibiotic banned in the food producing animals. Yes, nitrofurans are class of prohibited. Yes, cause genotoxicity. They are widely used in the organic farming as a natural antimicrobial. Is it a true? Like they are saying that organic farming and acting as a natural, these are the chemicals and these are the prohibited. So this one will be the incorrect. These antibiotics are water soluble, making it difficult to completely eliminating their residues. That's why it is banned. And they are promoting the bioaccumulation and biomagnification. Yes. So the correct option will be the only 3. Except 3, all statements are correct. Next question. Initiative on ICET or initiative on critical and emerging technology. Like we should all know that the initiative ICET is the very important aspect, and it is the between the India and USA. Now, if you are like have the toes on the current affairs news, that you can see that there is a relation, the changing in the relation among the countries. If you have seen the USA-Ukraine relation, the open dialogue between the presidents of the USA-Ukraine and the US is tilting towards the taking the side of Russia, and there is a new paradigm or the new relation between the India and USA. That's why it is very important, ICET, and this is an initiative and the dialogue between the national security advisors of both countries. That's why it is very important. If you see the critical and emerging technology, for example, what do you mean by emerging technology? Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, semiconductors. These are the emerging and critical technologies. That's why this question or this aspect is a very important. Yes, if this is a true bilateral initiative between the India and USA, then initiative aims to promote technology sharing exclusively in the defense sector. See, this one is the extreme one, not exclusively. Apart from defense, we can focus, the both country can focus on the semiconductor, AI and quantum computing. So this one is the incorrect one. ICT led by India's Minister of External Affairs and US State Department. We have discussed that it is the forte between the national security advisors. So this one is the incorrect one. The semiconductor supply chains and quantum computing are key focus area. This one is the correct one. We have seen the AI, big data, machine learning, semiconductor, quantum computing, the space related aspect. Have you heard about the Axiom 4 mission? Shubhanshu Shukla from India was selected for the Axiom 4 mission. This is a private crew mission of the USA. Yes. So this is a correct one. So the only 2, option B is the correct one. Now coming to the question of Axiom 4. This one is the simpler one. See the image. This is a ministry, the official document where the National Security Advisor Shri Ajit Doval had attended or have the like counterpart, his counterpart, and meeting under the Hyderabad House, New Delhi, into the ICET. See, this is ICET, are the National Security Advisor and his counterpart, and this is a meeting going to take place. Now this is regarding the Axiom 4, European Space Agencies and ISRO's. The Shubhanshu Shukla is a part of the Axiom 4 mission. Now let's understand regarding the what is the meaning of the Axiom 4 mission and related. See, do understand that there is a clear-cut difference between the Artemis mission and the Axiom 4 mission. Yes, Artemis mission we have discussed at the start of our discussion. Now let's understand the question regarding the axiom 4 mission, which are correct one. It is a private crewed mission. Yes, that is a true. The mission launched NASA and SpaceX. This is a true. And part of this axiom space long-term goal of private space station. This one is also true. And talks about the microgravity research. These are the general statements. But we should know the just objective of this mission. If the question comes regarding the axiom 4 mission and they are talking the aim is to reach the moon, that is the incorrect one. What is the key summary or the crux of this axiom 4 mission? Private crewed mission to build the private space station and to conduct the microgravity research. Yes, this information is the more than enough. So all 4 statements are correct. Coming to the next question, that is the Hannibal Directive. What they are saying, Hannibal Directive. Have you heard about the Hannibal Directive? In the military context, what do you mean by the Hannibal Directive? I am going to give you a hint. Like the Israel and Hamas war, the Hannibal Directive was used. What is the meaning of Hannibal Directive? Just read the option. A protocol authorizing the use of extreme measures to prevent the capture of Israeli soldiers, even at the risk of harming the soldiers themselves. Hannibal Directive is related to the Israel. Israel having that principle that, like if you have the like seen in the movies or web series, there is a like the covert operations are there. Like in the enemy countries, suppose if the person is like captured by the India of the enemy country's person, then what the enemy countries is doing, they killing their own person. Yes, because of the providing the sensitive information. This even the same that Israeli the authorities are using the Hannibal directives that extreme measures like to prevent the capture, they are killing the Israeli soldiers also, even civilian people also. This is an extreme military measurement regarding the Hannibal Directive. So it is restricted to the military aspect of the Israel. Let's understand. Now the coming to the options, then international agreement outline, it is not with respect to the international agreement. Then humanitarian guideline, nothing. Then strategy employed by the United Nations, it is restricted to Israel. So it is nothing about the international agreement, humanitarian agreement or the United Nations system. So the out of 4, the only one statement is the correct. So the correct option is the only one, that is the A. Next question regarding the zombie startups. Zombie startups, there is a different concepts. Like the zombie startup, the shell companies. Yes, you might have heard about the shell companies. Now, do the research about the shell companies. 4-5 years back, there was a concept was in the news, that is the shell companies. Now, this is regarding the zombie companies. You might have seen the movies regarding the zombies. Zombies means the zombie which are the persons. They are present on the earth, but they are unproductive. The resources are consumed by those zombies, but they are unproductive or they are not contributing through the ecosystem very maturely. So this is regarding the zombie ecosystem or the zombie startups. What do you mean by the zombie startups? Healthy startups, unhealthy startups, zombie startups. Zombie startups means like suppose dead and zombie. Zombie means they are live. They have shown the presence, but they are unproductive to the ecosystem. Now let's understand with respect to the context of the zombie startups. Let's understand, they are startups that continues to operate despite generating minimal revenue, having no clear path of profitability. Consider like the startup, they don't have the vision. Yes, and they are creating the minimal revenue, and the investors are going to invest more into this zombie or into this startup. Like despite having praises, they are having more like generation of their revenue, but they are consuming more resources. They are requiring the more investment. This is called as the zombie startups. Then such startups typically survive due to continuous investment funding. Yes, despite their presences, we can sense their presence, but they are generating minimal revenue and chunk of the resources are extracted from the investors. Then the third statement, high number of zombie startup indicates strong investor confidence and thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem. Zombie startup is itself negative concept. How we can ensure the strong investor? Ultimately, investor will fed up. The investor will say that despite having like I am investing, I am not getting any return of investment. So they will be hesitant or they will be trying to retract from those kind of the startups. So the third statement will be the incorrect. The presence of zombie startup can lead to the inefficient capital allocation, reduce overall economic productivity. Yes, we are not creating any kind of the good products. Inefficient capital allocation. The investor might say, instead of investing in your startup, I might have invested or shifted those kind of the capital or the resources to the another healthy startup. Yes. So this is one is also true. So the only three, option C is the correct one. This one, three parent baby. Yes. Do you know the concept of three parent? Do you know the concept of surrogacy, test tube baby, IVF test centers, in vitro fertilization? You might have seen the ads campaigning on the boards, billboards or the any kind of the wall. That is the IVF center is located in this region, located in this part of India. We have the branches. This is a one kind of the three parent baby. This is a very, very important concept. Let's understand the concept before solving the question. What do you mean by the three parent baby? As we have seen, the Hannibal directive is related to the Israel. Then zombie company. We have seen the zombie company or zombie startups. Now understand this concept. Concept of the baby born. While baby born, some of the parents unable to bear the child, so they are resorting to the advanced technology regarding the surrogacy, three parent baby, test tube baby. Yes, or the IVF technique, different IVF techniques. Then to understand regarding the three parent baby, and in 2015 or 16, the first three parent baby was born in the UK. Now this is the UPSC had not asked the extensively question on the three parent baby. So this is a very important concept. What do you mean by the three parent baby? Understand three parent baby. Understand the usual process. Under the usual process, this is a father and this is a mother. For the baby, like this is a embryo, fetus or the zygote. Embryo. To have this embryo or zygote, like the premature baby, for the general term premature baby. The sperm from the father and the eggs from the mother, they are fertilized into the womb of the mother and there is a baby born. This is a general concept. Like while under the sperm, there is a sperm and the sperm nucleus is there. Only the sperm nucleus is going to fertilize the egg. In the egg, there is a egg nucleus and the surrounding region, cytoplasm, is having the mating from the these two aspects, egg nucleus only and the cytoplasm plus sperm nucleus only and this one region. is going to fertilize and there is a formation of the zygote, embryo and ultimately the baby. Suppose, for example, these are the just nucleus. This is just the nucleus. And suppose if the mother under the cytoplasm having the mitochondrial disease, like the mitochondria, energy powerhouse, and these are the defects in the mother. If you see these into the during the fertilization, these mitochondrial diseases or the affected mitochondria is going into the newborn baby also, and there is a mitochondrial diseases. So now what we are doing? Now we are just taking the egg nucleus of the mother and the cytoplasm of the third woman. Like suppose ultimately this is the first parent, second parent and the third parent, which is giving her cytoplasm or the healthy mitochondria. Only the mitochondria, the egg is removed from the third parent. Only the mitochondria is utilized and egg from the mother is utilized and the sperm nucleus, egg nucleus and the mitochondria from the third parent or the woman is utilized. Now the healthy mitochondria and there is a newborn baby, that is the 3-parent baby. Have you understood the concept? Now imagine, now the genes are present in the nucleus. This is a cell. The nucleus, the cell, sperm nucleus we have utilized. We have just utilized the egg nucleus. Now after the 3-parent baby, there will not be passing of the mitochondrial diseases. But the genes are only from the father and mother only. That is the eye color, skin color or any kind of the aspect, not from this third woman. Do understand the concept. There is a different concept. This is the 3-parent baby is a different from the surrogacy. Surrogacy, like mother and father placing their fetus into the womb of the third woman. So don't confuse, 3-parent baby is like a surrogacy. These are the total different concept. Do understand. Now coming to the question. Now just read the question for few seconds. I hope you are enjoying these lectures. This is the mosaic form of the very important current affairs question. Like if you see, we will be having the current affairs session like part 2, part 3, part 4. That's why we have launched the test, the integrated test for the current affairs for this month, and the upcoming months the full length test will be there. So for the further inquiry, you may contact the number and the link is given of the institute, and we will have the sessions, the comprehensive session regarding the conceptual clarity. And the ultimate aim is obviously to enjoy the concepts lectures. Don't feel like this is like the burden on you. Just enjoy the lecture. Sit and enjoy. Ultimately, understanding is the important, conceptual clarity is important. Then you will be able to solve the question, tackle the complexity of the exam. You may be able to write into the UPSC mains also. Now, the first, what they are saying? Regarding the first statement, they are saying that the nuclear DNA of the child comes from both biological parents, while the mitochondrial DNA comes from a donor. That is a true? See, nuclear DNA, biological parents means mother and father, only the egg nucleus and only the sperm nucleus, nuclear DNA. This one is the correct one. The primary objective of this technique is to prevent the transmission of mitochondrial diseases from the mother of the child. This one is also correct. The UPSC might pick the statement that from the father, mitochondrial disease of the father. That is the incorrect one. Because from the father we are just taking the sperm nucleus, and from the mother we are taking the egg nucleus plus cytoplasm or the mitochondrial aspect. The mitochondrial donor contributes to the child genetic traits. Is it a true or false? Mitochondrial donor, we are only taking the mitochondria of the cytoplasm, not any nucleus. The nucleus comes from the egg of the mother. That's why the donor will not contribute to the child's genetic trait. And this technique is legally approved for all clinical. See, this is a legally approved on all countries. This is a too much extreme statement. See, in like the many countries or in some of the countries, the abortion is not allowed. So, in the regressive countries, the 3-parent baby is also not allowed. So, this one is also incorrect one. 3 and 4 are incorrect. Out of 4, the 2 statements are correct. Only 2 statements are correct. The correct option will be the B. Coming to the next question. The Sampurnata Abhiyan. Sampurnata Abhiyan, see, just I have to give the hint that the Sampurnata Abhiyan is the launched by the Niti Aayog. It talks about the aspirational district program. Aspirational district means those districts are having the social indicators are backward, like health indicator, education indicator, and any kind of the indicator are having the low status. This is having the Sampurnata Abhiyan launched by the Niti Aayog. Then coming to the next question, the High Seas Treaty is a very important. High Seas Treaty or the Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction, BBNJ Treaty is a very important. We all know what is the concept of High Seas Treaty. That the high sea, suppose this is a coastal, take an example of the India. This is a coastal area. This is an exclusive economic zone, like 200 nautical miles. Beyond 200 nautical miles, this is the open sea, this is known as the high seas, and this is not like having the ownership by any country. So who will take care of this the biodiversity under this high seas or the open seas? So that's why the BBNJ treaty under the United Nations, we have come up with the High Seas Treaty or the BBNJ treaty. This is, and what is the under this there is a one provision, 30/30 provision. By 2030, we want to save at least 30% of biodiversity in the high seas. This is a 30/30 initiative. Now let's analyze the option. Conservation of sustainable beyond national jurisdiction, this BBNJ treaty talks about. Regulation of deep sea mining on territorial waters. Territorial waters means, suppose this is a territorial waters. This is the provision of the deep sea mining or the regulation of the mining. Second one is the incorrect. They are linked to the Sustainable Development Goals 14, life underwater. Establishment of marine protected areas in international water. International water means high seas, open seas. So the 1, 3, 4 will be the correct one, option B. See this image regarding the Sampurnata Abhiyan. Sampurnata Abhiyan, in the context what the UPSC will ask, the Sampurnata Abhiyan is related to the center-state relation, related to the space activity, related to the comprehensivity. But the thing is, this is like this was launched between the July to September, and Sampurnata Abhiyan by the Niti Aayog, talking about or the focusing on the high the priority area or the aspirational, like the districts which are having the low social indicators such as the health, education, sanitation, drinking water. Maritime zones, like we are talking about this high seas. High seas. This is an exclusive economic zone, and this is a high seas or the open sea or the international waters. And for the international waters, there is a one convention known as the UNCLOS, United Nations Convention Law of Sea. Under the UNCLOS, the International Seabed Authority is the ultimate authority to grant the particular region for the exploration. For example, International Seabed Authority recently granted the Central Indian Ocean Basin to the India for the exploration of the polymetallic nodules. Now coming to the next question. Under the project Cheetah, African cheetahs were translocated to India from which of the following countries? This is a factual question. Like the commission is asking, like for example, the under the biodiversity commission is asking, the Gir Asiatic lions are located in the Gir National. Then where we are translocating those Gir Asiatic lions, that is the answer is a Barda Wildlife Sanctuary. Then what is about the Kuno National Park? From where we have the translocated the hippopotamus. Then from where we have translocated any kind of the species. Now the African cheetah. African cheetah, if you see, the Namibia and the South Africa is the answer one. The question might come, what is the difference between the African cheetah and the Asiatic cheetah? Same as the in the UPSC 2021 commission had asked the question, the difference between the African elephant and the Asiatic elephant. The question might come. They might be asking regarding the cheetahs. What is the difference among the cheetah leopard? Yes. That's why the India had also launched the International Big Cat Alliance. Under the local headquarters of the IBCA is in the India. That's why cheetah is one of the cat species under the IBCA. So IBCA is important. The cheetah related aspects are also important. The next question. Uttarakhand has launched the State Disaster Management Authority for which kind of the objective? They have given the option promote the tourism, then the hydro power generation, to mitigate the glacial lake outburst flow, or to conduct scientific research. If you see, in the generally September-October month, the Uttarakhand regions is witnessing the prevalent landslides in the region due to the glacial lake outburst flows. That's why the state disaster, we are concerning with respect to the disaster aspect. So out of the four, the GLOF or the glacial lake outburst flow is more close to the question's demand. So the option C is the correct one. Then there is a homework for you regarding the India, because regarding flue gas desulfurization system, the question on this technique is asked into the UPSC under the thermal power plant. Now you have to see which kind of the techniques are used into this FGD, flue gas desulfurization, because the thermal power plants are creating the pollution in the form of the sulfur dioxide emission, and it is a rampant in India. Then to reduce this kind of the sulfur proportion, we are using one kind of the technology, that is the flue gas desulfurization. And which kind of the techniques are used, whether are they wet scrubbers, cyclone separators, fabric filters, or the electrostatic precipitors? The answer is the electrostatic precipitors. Just have the homework for you, like have the understanding, conceptual clarity, do the more research on this kind of the how the electrostatic precipitors are used to reduce the sulfur dioxide emission in India, particularly from the SO2 pollution in the thermal power plant. Then the question number 25. Why are we seeing this question? The India had released the 5th tiger census. 5th tiger census in the year 2022, but released in the year 2023. and the total number of tigers are 3682, which was improved from the 2967 in 2018. This is an improvement. And now the next census, the tiger census is conducted after 4 years. The next census will be conducted in 2026 and that data will be out, might be in the 2027 or 2028. And I am assuming that till that time you might have joined the services. That's why till your preparation this data is very, very important. See, with respect to the leopard census, with respect to the snow leopard census, tiger census, Asiatic elephant census, those all are out. So you should have the comparative study of the what are the approximate populations. We should know the exact numbers. These 3682 are present in India and this is the 75% of the world's tigers habitats in India. What about the Asiatic elephants? Around 40 to 50,000 are present in India. Around leopard, like the there are many instances where the leopards are intruding into the human habitation in the Western Ghat or the Sahyadri ranges. Like you should have the range. How many leopards are there? 12,000 to 15,000 or 13,000. Then snow leopard, exact snow leopard 718, spanning across the all Himalayan states. Then they are saying that which of the tiger reserve is having the population greater than 100. Like we should know all are having the greater than 100. So the 4 options correct. If you see the Bandipur, Nagar Hole, Mudumalai, yes, you might get to the this one 1, 2 and 3. But what about the Kaziranga? Kaziranga is famous for the one-horned rhinoceros. You might feel that Kaziranga is having the dominant population of the one-horned rhinoceros. There might be the less chances where the tiger will be having the more than 100 in number. That is incorrect. That's why deliberately I have included this number and I have also given the scope for the elimination also. Because if you eliminate 1, 4, then only 1, 2, 2, 3 will be there. So that's why Kaziranga is also there. Then what about the tiger reserves which is having the highest number of tigers? Do you know? Jim Corbett, India's first national park located in the Uttarakhand is having the 260 tigers. 260 tigers out of 368, 260 tigers are there. Imagine with respect to state wise, the Madhya Pradesh is having the highest number of tigers, followed by Karnataka, followed by Uttarakhand and then Maharashtra. Maharashtra is having the 444 tigers in Maharashtra. Imagine the total Maharashtra is having 444 and alone Jim Corbett in Uttarakhand is having the 260 tigers. Many of the tiger reserves are not having the single tigers. If you see the examples of the northeastern tiger reserve regarding the Manipur, Mizoram and the Arunachal Pradesh tiger reserves, those are having the declining trend. If you see the map of the Indian, the landscape, the eastern regions are having the declining trend with respect to the tigers. For example, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand are also one of them. That's why the tiger count is a very important. You should have the range, like regarding the how many tigers are there with respect to these regions. Then coming to the next question regarding the discussion on aerosol. What are the impact of the aerosol? Aerosol means the concept of solid particles suspended in the atmosphere. Then what is the role of these aerosols or the suspended solid particles, dust particles? You may take the different particles, the dust particles, then PM 2.5, PM 10. What is the role of these aerosols for the climate regulation or for the climate change? If you see, the first option is have both warming and cooling effect. Can we assume that the one of the particles having the both role, warming and the cooling aspect? Then with respect to they are solely anthropogenic in nature. What do you mean by the anthropogenic? Like human induced. Are they solely anthropogenic? Aerosol influence the cloud formation, or the reducing aerosol emission will unequally lead to the global cooling. Understand the fact that if you see the image, aerosols are primarily responsible for the global warming rather than cooling. But we have to understand the concept that are they contributing towards the cooling aspect or not. If you see, these are the aerosols. Aerosol means the solid particles suspended into the atmosphere. Now imagine the concept that these are the particles and some of the particles are reflecting the UV radiation. Suppose consider as the white particles, and the black particles or the pollutants as a PM 2.5, PM 10 are absorbing these particles. Again, if you see, there are the UV radiation also hitting to the earth's surface, absorption of the UV radiation, and these infrared or the greenhouse gases are trapped under this aerosol particles. Then greenhouse gases, this is a trapping of heat. So aerosols having the phenomena of both warming and cooling, but the warming is a predominant here rather than the cooling aspect. Then if you see these particles are also responsible for the cloud formation. For the cloud formation, mainly two criteria is responsible. There should be the nuclei present for the condensation aspect, and the temperature should be below than the dew point temperature. These are the two most important concepts, and where these aerosol particles are acting as the ground for the cloud formation in the form of providing the nucleus. Then now coming to our question. This is a given, see these are the different given, what are the kinds of the aerosol particles. If you see the organic aerosol in the form of the H2SO4, HNO3, sulfuric acid, nitric acid. Then from the industrial effluents, industrial emission in the form of NOx, SO2, like nitrous, nitric oxide, sulfur dioxide, ammonia. Then soot, black soot, brown soot, dust particles. These are the types of the aerosols or the solid particles suspending into the atmosphere. Now let's see the question. Now read the question. The first statement is saying aerosols have both warming and cooling effects. True. They are solely anthropogenic in nature. Suppose if there are volcanic eruptions, due to the volcanic eruption, the sulfur particles are emitted into the atmosphere, not solely, yes, predominantly by the anthropogenic in origin, but the traces of the natural aspect regarding in the form of volcanic eruptions are also there. So this one is the incorrect one. Aerosol influence cloud formation. Yes, aerosols are providing the nucleus for the cloud formation. Then reducing aerosol emission will unequally lead to the global cooling. We have seen the significant aspects from the global warming is there, not a cooling. So this one is the incorrect one. So the only two statements are correct. The answer will be the B. Coming to the next question, why we have included this news, please pay attention. India nearly added the 28 gigawatts of renewable energy. Renewable energy means the solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, tidal energy, yes. And if we have seen under the National Solar Mission, we have achieved the target also. And economic survey and the recent news is that we have achieved the target because we have the National Action Plan on the Climate Change. These are launched in the year 2008 under this NAPCC. There is a one mission that is the National Solar Mission, and the target under the National Solar Mission we have achieved this month. That's why it is a very important, and significantly we have added the 28 gigawatt. India aims to achieve at least 500 gigawatt of, this is a true, this is a part of, now you should know INDC, intended nationally determined contributions. Then the 28 addition dominated by wind energy. Yes, wind energy addition is there, but not dominated by wind energy. What is that? Solar energy. That's why we are seeing that the Bhadla solar park in the Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, any other regions are having the solar photovoltaics. If you have seen, there is a 1 crore objective of rooftop solar panels also. So, by general sense, we can assume that between wind energy and solar energy, the solar energy is having the significant share in the renewable energy aspect. So, this will be the incorrect one. Despite the addition, fossil fuels still dominate India's power generation mix. This one correct? Yes. Then India plans to phase out all coal-fired power plants. See, we are heavily dependent on thermal power plant. This is an extreme statement. Like within a 5 to 6 months, we are we able to eliminate or abolish all thermal power plant? No. Phase by phase manner. So this one is the incorrect. Out of 4, the 2 will be correct. So only 2 are there. Talking about the Gram Manchitra. Gram Manchitra, just like, have you heard about the Swamitva? There are the rural disputes in the the land related disputes in the rural area. So to solve those land related disputes, the Ministry of Panchayati Raj launched the Swamitva scheme, and to have the Swamitva scheme, the Gram Manchitra app is launched, where the location, like the digitization of the land parcels will be there, along with the mentioning of the latitude and longitude. That's why there should not be any land related disputes in the future. So this Gram Manchitra is talking about. Suppose if we are mentioning the latitude, suppose this is a photo, and along with the latitude and longitude locations. So there will be the using of geographical spatial system also. Yes, that is true. It is a GI based decision support system. Yes. We are talking about the Gram Manchitra. Yes, support system. The platform enables spatial planning of rural development. Good one. The initiative is led by the national. Yes, true. Under the Ministry of Rural Development. This is a misleading. We all know Ministry of Panchayati Raj. Unless you are knowing this fact, then you would be having chances getting it incorrect. It integrates multiple data sets, including land use pattern, infrastructure, and naturally, yes, this is a general statement. So, out of the 4, the 3 are correct. Only 3 is the correct one. Talking about the sustainable aviation fuel. Let's see the images. This is having the Gram Manchitra. If you are the surfing on the internet, then focus on the this kind of the Gram Manchitra under the Ministry of Panchayati Raj. If you click into these subheadings, then you will be understanding the facts related to the Gram Manchitra. Geospatial based decision support system for the Panchayat, and this is under the Swamitva scheme. Then this is regarding the sustainable aviation fuel. Sustainable aviation fuel means, I am assuming that some of you might be the fan of the Chris Martin, the Coldplay. The recently Coldplay concert was happened in the New Mumbai in January, the starting of this month. And if you see the main Coldplay, like they are having the hymn of the weekend, the light will fix you, then Viva La Vida. These are the landmark composition or the beautiful composition. If you see that during the tour, they are having the objective during the tour they are using the having the target of zero carbon emission, and during for that zero carbon emission they are using the SAF or the sustainable aviation fuel. India had also mandated the target of the sustainable aviation fuel. Then regarding fuel sustainable, what are the resources, like they are using the cooking oil or the forestry waste or the agricultural waste are also used for the manufacturing of the sustainable aviation fuel. Then what are the aspects regarding the sustainable aviation fuel? Let's understand by the question. The SAF can be derived from the used cooking oil, agricultural residue, municipal solid waste. This is true. The carbon footprint completely zero, making it an entirely green alternative to the conventional jet fuel. This is a true or not? Yes. The international ICAO has set a target net zero by 2050. Net zero. This is a factual data and this one is the true one. And CORSIA under the ICAO encourages the use of SAF. Understand, ICAO and the CORSIA is the important one. CORSIA stands for Carbon Emission Offset. Carbon Offset Reduction Scheme for International. ICAO is having this headquarter at the Montreal. Montreal at the where? Yes, Canada. Yes, good one. So the all four options are correct. Coming to the next question, India has launched these several initiatives regarding the landslide disaster. Last month in the July, the India had witnessed the Wayanad landslide disaster, where in which unfortunately the tragic event had witnessed that greater than 300 or around 300 had witnessed the death because of this landslide. So the question related to landslides are very important. Options are land mapping the pair 1, 3, 4 are correct. Talking about the flood net, they are talking about monitor the mitigate landslide, but the key word is a flood. Obviously it will relate it to the flood. Second one is the incorrect one. Out of 4 only 3 are correct. Option C. These are just factual data. You should know what is the LHZ mapping. You should know what is the mandate of the National Institute of Disaster Management and what is the RIMES. Yes, this is just the factual data. Then next question is regarding the geysers. We have seen the geysers concept. Geysers like intermittent flow of the hot water. At the initial discussion we have talked about the geysers and hot springs, the sulfur water bodies. Then now the geysers require specific geological conditions including underground heat, source of water, yes, plumbing system. We have seen the question regarding second or third question regarding the why the Iceland is witnessing the constant volcanic eruptions due to they are having the geological conditions. Thin lithosphere, then the magma beneath that thin lithosphere, then the diverging mid-Atlantic ridges. These are the responsible for the volcanic instances at the Iceland. Now they are asking obviously for the geysers. Then Yellowstone National Park having the greater than half of the world's geyser. Now search on the internet and see the video. You might be Yellowstone National Park is in the USA. Then famous geyser, this is a word geyser in the Iceland is the origin of the world. Yes, we have taken the name. Then El Teatio in the Chile is the largest geyser field in the southern hemisphere. Largest obviously overall world in the Yellowstone National Park, but in the southern hemisphere it is in the Chile. So the all 4 statements are correct. Then consider the following food contaminants. Before going to the next question, let's see the images. So these are the geysers. If you see, Fumarole or the steam are also the another name. These are the water bodies, hot spring, liquid water. This one. And these are the geysers, liquid water plus steams reaching to the certain heights, like an explosion. This is a difference between the geyser and the hot spring. And what are the conditions, preconditions for the formation of geysers? The steam, heat, these are the heated water are responsible for the formation of the geyser. See, this is an intermittent explosion of these hot water bodies, and the audience are like inspecting this phenomena. Read the question 32. The upcoming questions are the factual ones. So we will require the half an hour, like around half an hour to finish this question, because there was a heavy questions at the initial 25 to 30. Consider the food contaminants. We have seen into the fisheries. Now the food contaminants: alpha toxin, pesticide residue, heavy metals, microbial pathogens. Which of the above does the Codex Alimentarius provide safety standards for? If you see, Codex Alimentarius Commission is regarding the food safety, and if you see these United Nations regarding these organizations is having the broader aspect. Unless there is a specific mention, they will not exclude any kind of the food contaminant. So in general, all four options are correct. If you see, the alpha toxins is the toxins from the fungi. Heavy metals, we all know, the lead, mercury, heavy chemicals, pesticide residues also there, microbial pathogens are also there. So all four options are the correct one. Now there is a homework for you. This is a concept of there is a one concept asked in the UPSC. What do you mean by the greenwashing? Now there is a one concept of the emerging concept of the AI washing. We all know the concept of brainwashing. Yes, now this is asked in the UPSC examination. This is an emergent concept. Now with respect to this related concept, that is the concept of greenium in the bond market. I will tell the answer. Answer is all the four statements are correct. Now you have to do the analysis. Again the question, next question, Codex Alimentarius Commission. Like we all know, we have seen the CAC, Codex Alimentary Commission, is providing the food safety standards. The previous question, alpha toxins, then the pesticide residues, then heavy metals, chemicals, or the microbial pathogens. Then if you see, it was established by the WHO and the FAO. That is the correct one. Its primary function is to develop international food standard. Yes, that is also correct. Then the standards developed by CAC are legally binding. Is it a true? On all member countries. Again, this one is extreme, and all member countries. This is a mandatory, this is a voluntary, but WTO under the phytosanitary measures. Sanitary and the phytosanitary measures, or the SPS. Sanitary and phytosanitary. Means, for example, these are the voluntary, but the SPS are playing the major important role for the WTO trade. If you consider that the India, there were instances that the grapes from the Maharashtra, Alfonso from the Maharashtra were rejected by the European market, citing that the concentration of the pesticides are above permissible level. That's why the SPS, cyto and phytosanitary, are the products are in the good condition or not. That's why SPS is important. Okay, if the WTO are having the SPS tag is there, then the Western countries are encouraged to buy the particular for the trade facilitation, smoother transition of the trade. That's why this is a SPS are important. Not legally binding but voluntary, but it plays a very important role. The answer is a 1 and 2 only. Yes, question number 35. Read this question regarding Seher program. Okay, Onkar is asking, we find large number of fumaroles in USA. Yes, yes. If we see the geysers, with respect to the geysers, only the Yellowstone National Park in the USA is alone contributing for more than 50% of the world's geysers. Now understand. Falsely claiming any commodities or green or pretensions are green. Yes, 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 good one. Greenwashing is related to green, this. Falsely claiming, yes, good one. Regarding the Seher program. Seher program, suppose you are not like, just first see the image, then you will be understanding. If you see we all know the Codex Alimentarius Commission or the CAP is an initiative, a joint initiative of the WHO and the FAO. Talking about the Seher program. If we see the logo Seher, we are writing like Seher. But if you see the logo, it is talking about the women entrepreneurship platform. So it is a joint of the Women Entrepreneurship Platform and the Trans Union CBL partner. It is talking about the women entrepreneurs. So are we excluding the rural? We are talking about the all women entrepreneurs, be it from the rural or the urban. But because if you see what is the proportion are the between the, if we compare between the rural and urban aspect, do we have the more number of rural or the urban entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs? That we have to see. And that's why the current economic survey is a very important document. Now along with this, sir, just see this plate. The HSRP plate is there. We are going to see the next question. HSRP. It is high security registration plate because the Maharashtra government had mandated from 1st April this year to have the HSRP plates. And there is the controversy that the HSRP costing in Maharashtra is a high as compared to the Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh. Then what is the concept of the HSRP plate? If you see, there is the chromium based hologram is there, just understand. Then laser number is there. This is like a fingerprint. This is a alphanumeric. Alpha means alphabets plus numeric also there. Then if you see the alphanumeric laser, each digital code is also there. This will be acting as a fingerprint of that vehicle. Where that vehicle, suppose to curb the instances of the vehicle theft, we are using this concept. And we all know the number, this is a state and these are the numbers given. Now coming to the question of the Seher. Yes, with respect to Seher program, joint initiative of women transfership and trans, yes, that is the correct one. Exclusively designed for urban women. See, we have seen design exclusively, no urban plus rural. Wrong. As per the Udyam registration portal, more than 50% of MSME are owned by India. We should have the range more than 50%. Is it true or false? Means more than 50% means the women are dominating the MSME sector. Obviously, around the economic survey is saying around 20%, 20 to 21%. This is a wrong one. The rural areas in India have higher percentage of women. Yes. As per the latest economic survey, rural women entrepreneurs are having in larger number than the urban. So this one is correct. So only two are correct one. Then regarding the HSRP, high security registration plate. HSRP has the 10-digit alphanumeric we have seen. The HSRP aspect, true. Embedded with a chromium based hologram to prevent counterfeiting, true. Comes with a unique laser code, yes. And it ensures the compliance with the Bharat 6 emission norm. See, this is not to do with the pollution aspect. This is regarding the tracking of the theft vehicle. So the out of 4, 3 are correct. The only 3 will be correct. Correct the answer for this question, that is the C. Instead of this is a DTP mistake. Instead of D, C, the only 3 are correct. Out of 4, the fourth one is the incorrect one and first 3 statements are correct ones. Then which of the following statements regarding the Niti Aayog's SDG India Index are correct? This question is also again repeated into the next the part regarding, this is a very important concept. With respect to the Sustainable Development Index, we all know that there are the 17 goals are there. But with respect to the Sustainable India Index, Sustainable Development Goals, we have only 16 goals, not 17, because 17s we have excluded. Then it evaluates the progress of all 17, that is the incorrect. They have asked out of 4 which one is the incorrect. It is published by the Niti Aayog in collaboration with the United Nations Development Program. Is it a true or not? Yes, it is published by the Niti Aayog, but not annually. Because if you see, the first one is the 2018 and the recent one is the 2023. It is a periodically revised, not annually. Yes, it is along with the Niti Aayog. Then the highest score recorded in the was 82 by the Tamil Nadu. There is a indicator from 0 to 100 and highest score was the 79, that is by the Kerala and Uttarakhand, not Tamil Nadu. And average score was 71 out of 100. This one is the incorrect. The first edition of the SDG was released in 2018. The D is the correct one. Talking about the dark oxygen concept. What do you mean by the oxygen? What do you mean by the dark oxygen? Let's understand. See, the SDG India Index is a very important. The probability of coming this question into the prelims is a very high. You can mention into your essay also. You mention these facts into the GS1, GS2, GS3 and even GS4 also. Regarding the inequality, Oxfam report, you may mention the Niti Aayog's SDG India Index. See the question, like analysis 2018, 2019, this is a recent one, fourth one, and this is a gradual increase in the 0 to 100 score from 57 to 71. This is an increase, gradual increase. If the questions come, the overall score among the SDG India Index is the gradual one or there is a gradual improvement, then that is a true. Gradual improvement, consistent, there is a no increase decrease in between the path. If you see 2018, 2019 and see the one, this is a not annual publication, this is a periodic publication. 2023, 2024, if you see the green fact, and this SDG India Index is categorized into states, categorized into the 4 aspects. First one is the achiever, then front runner, performer and the aspirant. Achiever is in the blue color. There is a no state has achieved the 100% score. That is the blue color. But front runner between the 65 to 90, 99, these are the green color. Most of the states have improved very well. That's why this is the important aspect of the SDG India Index. This is a very important. Then see this diagram. Dark oxygen. We are going to see the dark oxygen concept. Dark oxygen means the oxygen is utilized or oxygen is created in absence of the sunlight. How the oxygen is created? In general, during the photosynthesis process. Photosynthesis process, plant absorb the CO2 in the absence, in the presence of sunlight or in the light, and the oxygen is emitted along with the energy. This is a process. Now the concept of dark oxygen. Oxygen is created in the absence of the photosynthesis or in the absence of light. This is a just concept. Now let's see the R concept. Which one of the following statement best describes the term dark oxygen? This is now self-explanatory. Just read the options and tell me which option is the correct one. Yes, option B. Yes, good one. Generated non-photosynthetic, absence of sunlight, these are the keywords. A option, produced in the deep sea hydrothermal vents without involvement of the photosynthesis. Is it a deep sea hydrothermal vents? No. Exosphere? No. Isotope during high energy cosmic intensity? No. The option B is the correct one. Then regarding the sickle cell anemia, because why we have included this question, the government of India had launched the National Sickle Cell Anemia Mission, where there is a target of elimination of the sickle cell by the year 2047. 2047, the vision of the Vikasit Bharat, developed India. It is caused by the mutation. This is a true. Sickle cell anemia follows the autosomal dominant pattern of inheritance. Means, like for example, dominant pattern means like either the sickle cell coming from the either mother or the father. Suppose if sickle cell is impacting the either mother or the father, then there will be a dominant pattern. But it is coming from the recessive pattern of the inheritance. What do you mean by the recessive pattern? Means from both mother and father, this sickle cell anemia inherits to the offspring. So this will be the incorrect one. This is a more prevalent in the tropical. Yes, Africa, India, tribal pockets are prevalent. So third, four, only three. See this concept that we have seen into the three parent baby, the mitochondrial diseases only pass through the mother, not father. Yes? So we should know this kind of the facts. What is the concept of the sickle cell? Just see the diagram. Sickle cell means these are the normal blood cells which are in the circular shape. But sickle cells means they are having the sickle in nature. And these are obstructing the blood vessels. So this is a concept of the sickle cells. And due to the sickle cells abnormality, we might see the weaknesses among the those region or the persons who are affected with this kind of the anemia. Now the rabies. Why we have included this question regarding the rabies? Rabies, the rabies mainly infects from the dog. Out of virus transmission, it is biting by the dog bites also, and saliva of the infected animals also. And it is a fatal. After the rabies infection, there is a no cure. Yes, you can, prevention is better than cure. You can take the vaccines, or you may inject the vaccines to the dogs. There is a kind of the monkey bites also, other kinds of the animal bites also, where you can have the chances of infecting the rabies. And see, the India is one of the high prevalent region where the rabies is there, and we have the dog mediated elimination of the dog mediated rabies by the year 2030. That's why you might have seen the major municipal corporations are doing the sterilization activity on the stray dogs. This is just a part of this initiative. Like, coming to the question, yes, first we will see the question regarding this. Regarding the transmission and control of rabies, rabies can only be transmitted through the bite of infected animal. Only be transmitted through the bite, along with saliva also, saliva, transmission of saliva. So this one is the incorrect. The incubation period rabies humans can vary from days to several years. Yes, symptoms depending upon the immunity of that person. Already rabies virus is there, but immunity is so strong in the youth or something, there might be the incubation period, means the infection, this is the day of infection and this is the day of showing the symptoms, and this is a incubation period. It might be, suppose if you are having the low immunity, then like aged people or something, they might be show the symptoms in the week, days. If you are having the young, having the high immunity, he might be show in the year or after year. So that's why we are seeing the instances where the person who was bit by the animal 3-4 years back are showing the symptoms after longer period. This is a true. India has introduced the entire dermal rabies vaccination. Yes, the World Trade Organization classifies rabies as a neglected tropical diseases. This is also true. Now the question is, what do you mean by the NTDs? The correct option is only 3. Just do the research. What do you mean by the rare diseases and what do you mean by the neglected tropical diseases? What is the difference between them? Then coming to this question, the National Green Hydrogen Mission, we have seen in our previous lecture, we have seen regarding the types of hydrogen. What are the types of hydrogen? Pink hydrogen, grey hydrogen, black hydrogen, white hydrogen, and this is the green hydrogen. So we should know what do you mean or what are the types of the hydrogen. Then what is the National Hydrogen Mission? Reduction in India's crude oil important, yes. Decarbonization of hard to abate industries like sea. Improvement in the air quality in major Indian cities, and immediate target large scale adoption of India's transition. Is it a possible immediate large scale adoption? Means like we are immediately phasing out the petrol and diesel vehicle, gradually adopting the green hydrogen. So this will be the incorrect one. So the only 3 answer C is the correct one. We have seen the 41. Then 42. Which of the following consists only of the Rabi crops? We have given the range of the agricultural crops. Now we have to find which of the all 4 will be the Rabi crops. How we are tackling this question? Like in UPSC 2023 regarding the Niger seeds, the UPSC had asked the question, and one of the statement they have given that is it a Kharif crop or Rabi crop? That's why we have included this question. Wheat is a Rabi crop, paddy is a Kharif crop. We should all know. This is a rice and wheat. We should all know rice and wheat. wheat is the Rabi crop and the rice is the Kharif crop. So this option is eliminated. Then maize, chana, sunflower, jowar. If you see maize, sunflower, how we are going to remember sunflower? The summer season or Kharif crop, jowar in the Kharif crop. This is also eliminated. Groundnut is also the Kharif crop. This is also eliminated. Only the option C is there where the all crops are grown as a Rabi crop or the winter season. We have seen that the jowar, the Kharif, Rabi, and what is the third season? Zaid. Like shorter period between the April to May, where the plantation crops are grown, like the watermelon, cucumber. Then there is a next question regarding the methane emission from ruminants. Ruminants means the kettles. Like regarding what are the strategies to control the methane emission? Like the answer is all four. Just read the options. There are ways or the strategies to reduce the methane emission, because methane emission, like there is a paddy cultivation major, and this is another one is the ruminant animals, and these are contributing for the global warming aspects. So what shall be strategies, and these four strategies are there. Then the next question is regarding the large action models. What do you mean? See, now this is a fourth industrial revolution, that is IR 4.0. IR 4.0 is talking about the artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, large language models, LLM, large language models, and these are the all part of this large action models. And see, this is a large action models, and we are having the AI, then we are having the augmented reality, virtual reality, then data analyzation, then the machine learning. All our aspects are covered into the large action models. Now you should have the broader mindset or broader aspect regarding to solve this question. Now see the question. Enhancing the humanoid robots for autonomous decision making, good one. Optimizing industrial automation, this is also good one. Improving the efficiency of the robotic surgery, this was also good. See, developing the AI driven, whatever AI related activity, see the decision making system, the mimicking the human brain, the telepathy aspect, all are covered into the large action model. So this is the umbrella term for this industrial revolution 4.0 aspects. So the all four are correct. The answer D is there. Regarding the Caucasus region, sometimes seen in the news, where is it located? See the option, then we will see in the map. They are asking Black Sea, Caspian Sea, West Coast, Aegean Sea, Red Sea or the Mediterranean Sea. Because places in news, then the regions in the news are frequently asked by the UPSC. See the large action models we have seen the news. LLM, connectivity, AI, all are related to the large action models. Then with respect to if you see the Caucasus region is spanning from the Black Sea to the west to the Caspian Sea to the east, spanning from the Russia, Georgia, Armenia and Azerbaijan, because last year there is a conflict between the Armenia and Azerbaijan. This is a greater Caucasus and this is a lesser Caucasus. And now the Russia-Ukraine is in the conflict. Then the Armenia-Azerbaijan was in the news for the conflict. So that's why the Caucasus region is a very mineral rich resource. That's why there is a conflict between these two regions. Because in UPSC 2015, they have asked the question, where is the Black Sea located? Between which two countries? So that's why this news is very important. See, this is a Greater Caucasus, this is a Lesser Caucasus, spanning between the Russia, Georgia, Armenia and the Azerbaijan. Do you know the concept of CERT in? You should know, because this is an era of the conventional crimes have been replaced by the unconventional activities like the cross-border online fraud, then any kind of the concept of the deep fake, then dark web. That's why we should know the CERT-in. It is the team under the IT Act 2000 was established. CERT-in, Computer Emergency Response Team with respect to India. And this is talking about the taking the cognizance or having the acknowledgement with respect to the cyber crimes or any kind of the financial fraud. So see the major functions, that incident detection, threat intelligence, like with respect to the hacking, with respect to the phishing activity. Now let's see the question. Caucasus region, that is the region between the Black Sea and Caspian Sea. Caucasus region, towards the west there is a Black Sea, towards the east there is a Caspian Sea. Like which of the following are the functions of the CERT-in? CERT-in we have seen, the monitoring and response to the cyber security, issuing security alerts, good one, regulating and enforcing the data protection laws. Is it a? Because there is for the regulation data, there is a one act, DPDP, Digital Protection of Data of Provisions Act. For regulation of data, there is a one DPDP Act. So this one is the incorrect one. So the third gone, 1, 2, 4 correct. Coordinating cybersecurity efforts with the international agency. This is a self-explanatory. Option B is the correct one. Now see why we have included this question. Read this question. They are asked because this site has been inscribed into the UNESCO's World Heritage Site as a 43rd site of India. And it consists of large mounds, mortuary practices or the burial practices. The site has influence on the Ahom dynasty. Ahom dynasty, where is it Ahom dynasty? If you are good at the history, Ahom dynasty ruled from the 12th or 13th century till 19th century, 600 years of span. And it located in the Upper Assam, yes. So talking about Vikramshila, Nagarjun Konda and Lothal, if you are like, we have given the hint that it is located in the northeastern Assam. So if you are knowing that where is it Lothal located, Vikramshila located, Nagarjun Konda, you automatically come to the answer number B, that is the Moidams. Because why we have included this question? Because the UPSC recent, the previous paper, UPSC 2024 Prelims paper, they have asked two questions. Which of the following two sites has been inscribed in the year 2023? And with respect to the intangible cultural humanity list, which was the last to include into that particular list? So that's why. Then the next question regarding the Olympic order. Again, UPSC sports. Since 2020 or 2021, UPSC had started to include the question from the sport regarding chess Olympiad. Then with respect to the Bharat Ratna, with respect to the Major Dhanchal Khel Ratna award, they are asking Dronacharya award. Now we have included the Olympic award. What? Why? What is the importance? Because Abhinav Bindra was the first personality to receive this Olympic order, and Olympic order is the highest honor with respect to the International Olympic Committee. So this one is the correct one. The award is given only to athletes? No. It is given to those personality who have contributed immensely for the growth of the sports, ultimately the Olympic event. So not only to the athletes, for the administrator also, for the thinkers also. So this one is the incorrect one. Abhinav Bindra, first personality, yes, the Olympic order can be awarded to individuals beyond the sport fields. Yes, beyond the sport fields. Yes, this is a true. So the only three are the correct one. Question number 49. Global Gender Gap Report. See the options. World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap Reports. Suppose while articulation of this question, I have deliberately kept the option simple so that by the elimination, if you are not knowing the rank, that is okay, but you should know in the woman empowered, woman related topic, you may mention the the ranking to justify your arguments. Let's see how we are going to, for the time being I am assuming that you are not knowing the exact rank of the Global Gender Gap Index. India ranks 129 out of 146, okay. The report estimates that world will achieve full gender parity by 2030. Means gender equality, like which goal is talking about the gender equality? SDG 5. But by full gender parity 2030, within 5 to 6 years we are going to, this seems to be very unrealistic estimate, so this will be the incorrect one. So the second option is eliminated. 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, we already know. Now the 1 is the correct one and 3 is also the correct one. And now talking about the fourth one, more than 97% of economy have closed at least 85% of gender gap since 2006. More than 97% of economies means more than 97% of countries have achieved this significant. This is also the extreme one. The fourth one is also eliminated. So 1 and 3 only. Now as per the report, we are requiring next 131 years to achieve the gender parity. Next 131 years, this the report is saying. Because why we have included this question? In UPSC Prelims 2016, the commission had asked what are the 4 indicators under the Global Hunger Index. That's why these indices are very important. Next question. Which of the following are potential medical applications of ketamine? We have seen the various chemicals, the names there, fishing in the chemical, cholesterol, then the alpha toxins, now the ketamine. Why is it in the news? Ketamine is that drug, like do you know the Friends web series? See, this is a Moidam. This is a 2-storied and having the burial practices located in the Upper Assam, Ahom dynasty. This is the Olympic order. First Indian Abhinav Bindra, who got the gold medal in 2008 Beijing Olympics. Olympic order. See, this is how the symbol looks like. Now, have you heard about have you seen this character? The Friends web series or the sitcom is a very popular sitcom which spanned from the 1994 to 2004, where the one of the six character was the Chandler Bing or Aka, as known as the Matthew Perry, where he was found dead with the overdose of the ketamine drug. Ketamine drug is acting as an antidepressants, or it is acting as an anesthesia in the medical application. That's why it is in the news. Now, regarding the Chandipura virus. Chandipura virus, why? Because in the Gujarat, we have seen the deaths. Around 40 deaths or 20 deaths we have seen into the Gujarat. That's why the Chandipura virus. Because in 2015, UPSC had asked regarding the Ebola virus also. Sometimes Commission had asked regarding the Zika virus also. Now, we have the having the prevalent of Chandipura virus, and this month the GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, like having the prevalent or spreading in the Maharashtra state. HMPV virus is also there. That's why we have to pay attention for this recent diseases. Now let's see the questions. Potential application of ketamine. If you see the rapid treatment of severe depression, then pain management, anesthesia, yes. Treatment of epilepsy, this is not true. For the epilepsy, the ketamine is not used. That's why out of 4, only 3 are correct one. Then another, apart from ketamine, there is another OCBM is there. OCBM is acting as a pepper spray. Like women are carrying that pepper spray. It is acting as a tear gas in the right control. So 1 and 2 are correct. It is not used for the solvent production or the explosive material. It is acting as a just OCBM. Do research on the what is the full form of OCBM, but this is a chemical name, technical name. Just we are using the name as a OCBM. Then next question, the National Security Council falls under which of the following offices? This is a factual question. National Security Council, why? We have seen, we have discussed about the ICT, emerging critical technologies. ICT, it is between the India and USA, talking about the critical technologies, and it is between the National Security Council of the India and the USA. Now falls under, have you seen the Honorable Ajit Doval is reporting to the Minister of Home Affairs, Defence or something? It is directly reporting to the Prime Minister of India. The question 52 answer is the D. Then talking about the Chandipura virus, we have the recent outbreak, because UPSC in 2015 had asked which of the African countries are affected by the Ebola outbreak. On the similar lines we have taken, we should know what are the regions, Gujarat and parts of the Maharashtra. Then Chandipura virus, what we are expect, what are the symptoms, then what are the modes of transmission, is there any precaution, treatment or vaccines are available there, you have to do. Then coming to the 54, regarding the landslides. Landslides, again Wayanad landslides, we have done the mapping in our previous questions. India accounts for global 8%, yes. Sikkim has the largest proportion now, yes, that is also true. Sikkim largest proportion, around 57% of its total area is landslide prone area. Not Uttarakhand, it is aspect with respect to the percentage, not area wise. Kerala is the only non-Himalayan state. This is an extreme, not Kerala. Yes, Kerala is one of them, but along with Kerala, Maharashtra, Karnataka is there. Maharashtra, the Malin village and the Irshavadi village had witnessed the gruesome event of the landslides, where the whole village got overnight buried. The answer for 54 is the A, 1 and 2 only. Regarding 55, what do you mean by this comet list? Have you heard about this comet list? Again, in India's foreign trade policy, there is a one comet list. Comet list stands for special chemicals, organic materials, equipment and the technologies. And these are used for the, which are used as the dual use items, both have civilian and military applications. And this is a very important. Comet list stands for special chemicals, organisms, materials, equipments and technology which are having the high bearing of the civil and military application. That's why it regulates only nuclear and biological materials? No. Civil materials, all kind of the chemical materials are also regulated. It is issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs? No. It is issued by the DGFT. It applies only to imports of hazardous material, export and imports. Now see how the comet list looks like. See, this is a comet list. If you see, the most of the list are the licensing authority or the issued by the DGFT, Directorate of General Foreign Trade, and these are the list: nuclear materials, chemicals, microorganisms, toxins, nuclear related aerospace system, and this is known as this comet list. And this is a very important aspect under the foreign trade policy. Then talking about first we will see the question, then we will come into this diagram. Question number 56 talks about which of the following is related to the ecological sensitivity. The Madhav Gadgil and Kasturi Rangan committee. Kasturi Rangan also responsible for the new education policy. Madhav Gadgil recently got the Champions of the Earth award, like it is called as the Nobel Prize equivalent in the environment field. And Kasturi Rangan committee, Bimal Jalan committee is related to the economical capital framework. Economical capital framework, that is the recent, in the what manner or what should be the procedure to transfer the RBI's dividend or the profit to the central government. That's why the economical framework. Even Bimal Jalan committee earlier also constituted for the subsidies, rationalization of the subsidies also. This is also true. So 1 and 2 are correct. Option is A. Then consider the following phenomena, like the red shift observed in the distant galaxies, like change in the pitch of ambulance, then speed measurement and variation in the radio signals, and which of the above is Doppler effect. Understand, Doppler effect is a very, very important phenomena in the science and technology. Their applications are very, very important. Red shift and distant galaxies, like these are, universe is expanding and expanding at the constant rate, that is the nebula constant, and this universe expansion rate is observed into the red shift. Like the change in the pitch of ambulance sirens at it moves. See, Doppler effect is observed between the source and the observer. For example, there is a, suppose if there is a source moving away from the observer, obviously the siren speed will be hearing low, but it is coming towards the observer, the pitch or the sound of the siren will be having the high intensity. This is called as the Doppler effect, changing of the frequency range between the source and the observer. Then speed measurement using the radar guns. If you are seeing the police speed camera or the speed guns using the police are handling, these are also like having the applications from the Doppler effect. Variation in the radio signal received from the spacecraft, that is also the application of the Doppler effect. Just see the diagram, then you will be understanding what do you mean by the red shift. For this question, the question might be asked alone, on this concept, the UPSC might ask the question, what do you mean by the red shift? Explain the phenomena of red shift. See, if we see, you are here, universe is expanding, and how universe is expanding? See, this is a kind of the red color, and this is seen as the red shift. If universe is contracting, this is a blue color. But we are talking about the expansion of the universe under the nebula constant, and it is known as the Hubble constant, and this is shown in the red shift. Then see this diagram, ambulance. Suppose this is a source and observer, ambulance coming to the observer, high intensity, high frequency. Observer, suppose this is observer, ambulance is going away from him or her, this will be the lower frequency, this is a kind of Doppler effect. Then the speed, car is approaching, speed guns, radio guns are used for the measurement of the vehicle's speed. See, the recent in Kerala, the one girl is died due to the amoeba eating bacteria. That is amoeba eating bacteria. Like the name is the fowleri, the N floweri, and like see N floweri bacteria or the amoeba. That not bacteria, amoeba, the single cellular or unicellular organism had went through this, and the brain is eaten by that bacteria, that N fowleri organism, and this is transmitted to the water, the polluted water, through the nose. Through the nose, they are going to the brain, and they are eating the cells of the brain cells or the nerves, and they are critically damaging are the cerebrum and the cerebellum. Due to this, the one girl from Kerala had witnessed the death. So let's see the question on the this amoeba eating brain. Yes, let's see the first this question. Statements regarding the Naegleria floweri. This N floweri is a bacteria causes severe respiratory infection. Respiratory, no, it infects at the brain, and it is not bacteria, it is a amoeba. So first statement is wrong. It is commonly found in the warm freshwater body like lakes, rivers. Yes, it is transmitted through the water, and that polluted water, obviously fresh water. This is true. The infection caused by this floweri known as the primary amoebic meningoencephalitis. Yes, that is true. PAM is responsible for this infection. So second and third are true. Only two statements are the correct one. Then talking about this question, we have seen this question, the recent 4th edition of the SDG India Index. Now what we have seen, the Kerala and Uttarakhand were the top performing with a 79 points each. That is a true, 79 points each. What was the average we have seen? The gradual reaching to the 71. From where we have the baseline we have kept as a 2018. Bihar had the lowest score among the states, followed by the Uttar Pradesh. That is a true. The Bihar has the lowest score, but it is followed by the Jharkhand, because we collectively take the name of UP and Bihar. So after the Bihar there is a Jharkhand, not UP. So second statement is the incorrect one. Then overall SDG score is a 71, marking a steady improvement from previous years. Yes, that is a true. 1 and 3 are true, and we have taken the baseline of 2018, that is the first edition of the SDG India Index. SDG India Index, what 4 criteria we have seen? The achiever, then the front runner, then aspirant. Yes, like this we have seen the 4 criteria. Then last question of this session. Which of the following committee is not a committee that had recommended on the RBI surplus transfer of the government? Surplus means the dividend or the transfer of the profit, the percentage of profit to the government. That is the surplus, RBI surplus transfer. And which of the not following? Usha Thorat committee, Vaichi Maligan committee or the Subramaniam committee? The Raghuram Rajan committee is more about the structuring of the economy, but not about the RBI surplus. These Subramaniam, Usha Thorat and Vaish Maligam committee were constituted for the RBI surplus transfer. So the answer for this question is the C. This Raghuram Rajan committee is not recommended or not constituted for the recommending the RBI surplus transfer to the government. And if you see, like you can mention these facts also if the questions comes. The section 47 of the RBI Act 1934 talks about the which kind of the aspect. Then see what is the concept of the RBI surplus first. On the good note, we are ending this paper. See, these are the financial years and this is a RBI surplus transfer to the government. And why we have taken this question? If you see the financial year 16, 17, 18, 21, 22, 23 and 24. If you see the highest ever RBI had transferred the amount to the government. Like in 19 there was a 1,75,000, but here this is a record breaking RBI's dividend transfer to the government. That's why this RBI related surplus transfer is a very, very important one. That's why we have taken the question. Okay, we have seen the 60 questions which are very important. I am expecting, do note down, do the more research because these are in the current affairs. Now in the next current affairs second test you will be intimated. Probably it will be taken on this upcoming Sunday, current affairs test 2. And it will be having covering the spanning the month from the August, September and October. So like do read the monthly magazines whatever you are liking. These 3 months which were this August, September or October, we will have the very important questions on these topics. And the test series on the this platform Catalyst Careers Intelligence is in the operation. If you have any kind of the query or if you want to subscribe this kind of test series, then the number is given below. Yes. Thank you for your patience. Have a good day.